Just need a moment to catch my breath. Just need a moment to catch my
Hey guys, Bam here. So I decided to make a full leveling guide for the ball lightning of static. As you can see here, we have a step-by-step on how to attribute your points into your passive skill tree. So as you can see here, 1 to 12, 13 to 28, 29 to 44 with the ascendancy, 46 to 65, and then whenever you get to maps, right? And here we have the when you want to swap over to power charge stacking, because at first you will not have all the uniques required for it. So there's two versions for it. You can either keep using the traps, we'll talk about it, the traps of shrapnel blast, or you can swap over to ball lightning of static. The reason why I made both of them is that if ball of lightning of static is like super rare and really pricey, maybe it will take some time to be able to afford it or to get it yourself. So this is the reason why we're leveling with another trap. So with that being said, I also made some items. So for whenever you're playing with random rares, as I stated, this can run with random rares and be pretty good, but the main power will come whenever you swap over to power charge stacking. This is the build I actually played for the 0 to Hero challenge. I don't know what will be the price on League Start, but Relicash and Patient will probably be pricey, so that's why there's two like pretty much different build before getting the Ball Lightning of Static. Alright, now for the skill sets from 1 to 12, we will be using Rolling Magma, combining it with Flame Wall, and you can also add Holy Flame Totem to it, which is a pretty good leveling kit. And yeah, then at 12, you can, here's written 13, but you could get it at 12 too. You can start using lightning trap. If you want, you can skip this setup and go straight up to fire trap. But personally, I think using lightning trap is better because that's more clear than fire trap. But once you're level 28, I would say you can swap over to fire trap. And yeah, whenever you get a 4 link, the reason why I 5 linked it here, if you can see, this one's it is not enabled. It's actually disabled. The reason why is that depending on the colors you get, you might want to swap, like, let's say fire trap for a fire penetration for charge traps, or combustion for fire penetration, or stuff like that. And you will keep this setup until you get to maps. And then when you get to maps, you can use fire trap of blasting, but you need to combine it with explosive trap of shrapnel. The reason why you want to combine those two is that if you look at fire trap of blasting, most of its damage is coming from burning. Okay, so you need something to burn the enemies. So that's why we're using explosive trap of shrapnel, especially for single target DPS. It will be super important to have them be burning. All right, and then once we do a couple of maps, we accumulate some currency, we can actually swap to ball lightning of static. As I said, I don't know what will be the price of ball lightning of static this league, because there's two other content creators who are one of the big ones, Subtract them, is making a build guide about it. Personally, I don't know if his build will be good, because he's just casting the ball lightning of static, so he's pretty much waiting on the cooldown, while we are using traps, which lay down way more traps than just manually casting ball lightning of static. So as I said, I don't know what will be the price of it. If you want, whenever you change to power charges, you can still keep that setup. So the explosive trap of shrapnel and the fire trap of blasting. If you want, you can keep that setup and still be fine, but for sure, if you want the maximum DPS, you want to swap over to ball lightning of static. And if we look at here, like 2 million DPS, if we change the tree with that setup, like just straight up those items and stuff, it's already 17 million DPS. And this is not using the Tinker skin. So the reason why we're using a rare instead is that you want to make sure your resistance are fixed, and you could also max your spell suppression. And the Tinker skin is good, and it will give us more cooldown, but the biggest problem is the resistance. And also, I think using Tinker skin is only good enough whenever you get the +2 to AoE on the implicit, corrupted implicit. So yeah, this is why we're using a rare instead. If you follow this guide step by step, you should be fine. My first iteration of this was using the Trickster and then swapping over to Saboteur, but now I just made it that you can use a single ascendancy. You don't have to respec a bunch of stuff, because it can get annoying buying regrets early on. So yeah, if you want to keep a look at it, I'll leave it in the description, and hopefully this helps you. As I said, there's a lot of stuff that's working against this as a league starter. First off, the uniques, and second thing is the ball lightning of static. I don't know what will be the price of it, so I'm not sure if I will league start this. It requires you to know how to make a bunch of currency early on, but I know many people ask for a step-by-step guide on how to level this. One thing I didn't talk a lot about is one super important thing in the skill tree. We're using a Militant Fate, okay, a Timeless Jewel. So the increased elemental damage is cool. The +2 to elemental resistance per 10 devotion is actually almost a must. It will help you a bunch with the resistance, especially if you're using Tinker Skin, but this is not the biggest thing. So the Militant Fate needs to be of a high Templar Dominus, and the reason why is that it will transform that node, so 3% more spell damage per power charge. This node gives us 33% more spell damage, so it's super good. So if you look at it, normally it's, sorry, Normally it is Hex Master. We don't want that. So yeah, you want to make sure get this note. And the other thing, that Militant Fate must not break any of your notables. So here, the most important one, the +1 power charge. Some Militant Fate will actually change it. You don't want that. You want to make sure you get the +1 power charge. As I said, this is a power charge stacking build. So you want to check for a couple of Militant Fate. Make sure it's, as I said, Templar Dominus, and that it doesn't break your other stuff around. So with that all being said, is it a good build? For sure. Is it a good league starter? I'm not sure. I would say maybe 6 out of 10. And as I said, the reason why is that Ball Lightning of Static will be pretty rare and really high demand. And also, it's using a bunch of uniques. So the cool thing about this build is that it's close to immortal to elemental damage because of the belt. And yeah, it feels pretty good to play. It's really fun. But as I said, for a league starter, I'm not sure. Aside of that, I will probably make another guide on another league starter. But just let me know if you like this format of like step-by-step detailed POB for leveling. Hope this was helpful, and as always, take care, guys.